Hi, my name's Kat. Thank you for joining me today for this Pilates workout. I'm going to be using a ball. If you don't have one, just mimic the movement. And make sure you listen to your body, adjust anything as necessary, and let's get started. We'll start in a wide-legged position, turning your toes out nice and upright through the spine, reaching your arms forward and giving the ball a little squeeze when you come down. So it's up to you how deep you want to come into your plie. Squeezing into the ball if you've got one, just to activate into the arms and the chest. Really squeeze into your glutes as well when you straighten the legs. And imagine you're zipping your thighs together even though they're not touching, just to get the inner thighs working. Shoulders rolled back and down, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold on 1. Reach your arms forward. Then we're going to straighten the legs, straighten the arms, and bring it down. If your arms don't like going up and down overhead, then just stay with the in and out that we did before. Five more. And then bend the elbows and up. Give the ball a little squeeze behind the head if you've got your ball. Three more. And then come down and pulse. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Swivel, punch the ball, and come through center. Swivel, center, stay low. Two more, both sides. And release. Step together. Standing up tall. Lift the leg, swap the ball, and tap. Lift, tap. And then back the other way. Then step behind into a lunge and bring it in, back and in. Then we're going to add a knee lift as an option. And if you're doing the knee lift, we'll go under. Back the other way. And then holding down, pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold 1. Try and align your hips so we're not doing anything funky, and align the knees and tracking over the toes. They're not folding in or out. Now I want to try and keep everything really still except for the shoulders. Twist towards the front leg and back. So you're feeling obliques to keep that stabilized. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the ball in the hand with the legs behind. We're going to hinge forward and tap down. Then you can either bring the toe to tap, or when you come back through, we're going to raise the knee or extend. So trying to square off the hips. You don't have to touch the floor with the ball. You can just do a little lean. You can even tap that back leg down and do a little lean, more grounded if you need to. Trying not to collapse into the spine though. Staying nice and active in every body part. Grounding down through the foot, a little bend in the standing leg. Let's just do one more. Ooh, wobbly. And release. Ooh, I definitely feel my foot was working very hard with that one. Okay, standing tall, we've got the other side. Lift and drop. And back the other way. One more. Good. You'll step out to your lunge and step it in. Then you have the option of lifting, or you can stay with what you were doing. If you're lifting, we add the swap. And then back the other way. Last one. Ooh, stay down and pulse. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold 1. Stay nice and still from the rib cage down. We rotate, or the bottom of the ribs down, I should say. We exhale as we twist. Inhale through center. For 3, 2, and 1. Ball goes into the left hand, same as the leg that's behind. We hinge forward, and then you can ground the foot, or we bring the knee through, or we add in the extension as well. So embracing the wobbles, only going as far forward as you feel safe. Try not to collapse into the shoulders. A little bend in that standing leg, so don't lock the knee out. It'll be really hard to balance if you do. Last 3. Last one. Ooh, wobbly, wobbly. Shake out those feet. My goodness. All right. Now let's bring the ball in between your thighs. I'm going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Bend the knees, connect the hands, and walk out into a plank position. Now once you're in your plank, we bend the knees, stick your hips up towards the sky into a bit of a pike, down dog, straighten the legs, and then round through the spine, roll forward into a plank. Bend the knees, hips high, round the spine, roll forward. Let's do 2 more. dropping the knees down. Now grab your ball. We'll place it underneath the right hand. Knees are hip distance apart. Your other hand, or both your hands really, are under each shoulder. Wrapping your core on. Okay, so we're going to lift the opposite leg, square off the hips. Now as you push down on the ball, we lower the leg. And then release, lift the leg. And we're not lifting to the point we were arching into the lower back. So keep the core on. Push and lift. Push into the palm of the hand, not the fingers. And lift. So the more you push, the more you're going to get out of it. Try and keep yourself square. Your body's going to want to lean. Last two. And reaching the ball forward. We'll bring it in, push the knee and the ball into one another, scoop the belly. And then extend out long. Exhale, round, push. Inhale, extend. We've got 4 more. And bring it down, round through the spine, shake it out. If you want to unload that wrist, bend it under and just let that wrist fold. Deep breath. And then we'll go over to the other side. So squaring off the hips, wrapping your corset in and lifting the opposite leg. Good, so tapping it down, pushing into the palm of the hand with your fingers kind of hanging off the ball. Now if you don't have the ball, you can just do a lift and lower of the arm or an extension of the arm forward and back. Trying to keep the body square, really gets all those stability muscles activated. And the shoulders can get quite tired here as well. Try not to let the head drop forward. Good, then reaching the arm forward. Bring it in, tap ball to knee, scoop the belly round and extend. Exhale as you come in. Out through pursed lips, like you're blowing through a straw. That's our Pilates breath that helps activate the deep core. And then in through the nose. Three more. And release. Around the spine, shake it out. And then unload that wrist. Deep breath. And then we'll come down onto the belly. And just leave the ball there for a moment. Now, feet are hip distance apart.
Push down into the top of the feet, push down into the hips, glutes are on, legs are long. Okay, if you have lower back issues, you don't have to come super high. Okay, you can keep the movement quite low and focus on squeezing into your pelvic floor like you're stopping yourself from peeing, only if you need that extra support for your lower back. Otherwise, the pelvic floor should do it itself on its own. And make sure you're relaxing in between each rep if you're doing that full squeeze. Okay, so on your exhale, we lift, making sure we're really activating into those glutes. And then on your inhale, release. Your toes can be slightly turned out and feet a little wider if that feels better for your lower back. Really focusing on upper back here, so squeezing those shoulder blades in towards one another, keeping your neck nice and long. Three more. Good. And release for a moment, let the knees go side to side. Now, if that was quite intense for your lower back, then use your hands and just stay low. Use the assistance of the hands for this one. Otherwise, we're going to come higher on the ball. So feet go wider, turning your toes out. Now, really, really important to rely on that booty to assist with this one because we're going to go a lot higher. Okay, so hands are going to press down into the ball. Exhale, push your hips down, lift your rib cage up, lengthening open the chest, and then come back down. Inhale, exhale, up, and inhale, down, exhale, and inhale. So you don't want to be feeling any discomfort in that lower back, so take the other option if you need. We've got two more. Really pushing into the ball like a push-up. Last one. And release. Let the legs go side to side again. Good, now grounding down through the feet, hip distance again. You can turn the toes out if that felt nice. Now we're going to reach the arms forward. Now if this is too much, you can come back into that bent elbow position. Okay, and if you don't have a ball, obviously just mimicking the arms. So lifting up and then down. So you can stay with this or you're going to lift, reach, you can stop there and then come forward again and swap hands and then come back down, or I'm going to do a full circle. So we lift, swap, bring it forward and down, squeeze, swap, forward and down. On your exhale, activate. Lift. And down. Last one. And down. Ooh, push it back into a shell stretch, so a rounded version of child's pose. Stretch it out. And then fall down into your child's pose for a moment. And relax. Deep breath. All right. Now coming into a kneeling position. Knees hip distance apart.
And we're going to sink the hips back. Actually, I'll go side on. So we'll sink the hips back, reach the arms forward, and then squeeze into the glutes and do a little tuck. So not arching, it's more of a pelvic tilt, okay? So hinging forward, reaching forward, and exhale, tilt. Trying to keep your chest nice and open, aiming for length of those arms. Let's do 2 more. And then tuck that tailbone, squeeze into the booty, lean back so you feel core and quads. You're gonna reach and low, reach and low. For 8, breathe through it. 7, belly button in. 5, feel the burn. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, release. All right, we're gonna come back into that tabletop position. We won't be here too long though. Let's bring the ball behind your knee and then flex your foot. Obviously, if you've got no ball, just doing the movement without the ball. So we can do a little kick and bring it down. So what we're avoiding is this arching into the lower back, okay? You want to keep the core on and the movement's just coming from the hip socket, not from the spine. And keeping that foot flexed, so then the back of the leg is activated. Trying to keep stable, so hips and shoulders level. We're not twisting or leaning. And holding it up. Squeeze the ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee back in line. Now we go out to the side and in. Try not to lean. Keeping your core firm. And 1. Great, now bring your leg back up behind. Come down onto your knees, your elbows. You pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the knee open and close. Open and close. So out. Keeping the knee high. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. So you're quite likely to be feeling that glute on the side where you weren't doing anything because it was holding you still. Now we'll swap it over. Flex into the foot, squaring everything off. Kick, keeping your core engaged. Then holding it up, squeeze into the ball. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in line. Open to the side and in.
So trying not to shift to the side, only working to the range of motion that you have available to you. So it may be small. Three, two, and one. Bring your elbows down. Raise the leg nice and high. And pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn it out and in. Still trying to keep the knee relatively high. Trying not to stick this bum out any further than it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Ooh, around the spine, shake it out.
Oh, my goodness, that was tough. All right, bring your legs around in front. Sitting up nice and tall, knees bent. Reach the arms up. On your exhale, tuck your tailbone under. So we're rolling onto the back of the sit bones, creating a big C shape with the body, and then inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then we'll add on as you go under, tucking that tail. I'm going to reach, bring it forward, and come back up. Exhale, scooping that lower belly. Reach, and come back up. Using your breath. Let's do one more, both sides. And coming back into that C shape. Keep your hips nice and still, and we rotate from side to side. Try not to let the knees, they're going to want to do this wobbly thing, to keep them still. If, however, though, you have stuff going on with your spine, let the hips move if you need to. Keep pulling that lower belly in. Squeeze into the ball for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, it can be intense for those hip flexors as well. Relax for a moment, shake it out. And rolling the spine up. Make sure there's enough room behind you. I'm going to glue those legs together and roll down one vertebrae at a time. So doing that tuck again, we'll push your lower back down, your middle back, upper back, reach the arms overhead. Now keep your legs zipped together, point your toes. On your exhale, we reach forward, pushing your lower back into the floor, and then inhale, lengthen. You have the option of staying halfway, or if it's available to you, we can roll all the way up, trying to keep the legs grounded, really articulating through the spine with control. Using your exhale at the hardest part when you need that core contraction in both directions. Inhale, then re-exhale. Just come back down, inhale, exhale. Let's do one more. Awesome work. Bend the knees, plant the feet. Have come off my mat. Oh, there we go. We'll put the ball underneath your right leg. Gluing down your lower back, I'm going to lift the left leg as well, trying to keep your shoulders relaxed. Okay, so we're just going to do a single leg little toe tap, keeping the lower back down. So if it starts to arch, you can either make your movement a little smaller, or you can bring this other hovering leg down to the floor. Keep everything nice and firm. So you have the option of staying with this, or we're going to tap, lift, extend, and in. Now with that leg extension, it can go low or it can stay high. So the higher you go, the less load is on your core and on your lower back. So listen to your individual body. Making sure the feet are nice and pointed. Last one of both. Good. And then holding that one out in a hover. You don't have to do the hold. I'm just going to tap, lift, really pull everything in. 4. Don't let that back arch. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, bring it down with control. Swapping over to the other side. So option to keep the foot down or both come up. Keeping the hips square, lower back connected. And then we can add in leg extension at whatever height works for you. Keep re-engaging the core because it will start to fatigue and let go. You can always come down, reset, come back into it when you're ready. Two more. Then we've got the hold, which is optional. You can keep the knee in if you need to. Good. For 5. Ooh. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Ooh. Bring it in, release with control. Now bring the ball in between your knees. Lift your lower back until your hips are in line with your pubic bone, so neutral spine. And then interlace your hands, place them behind the head. Have your thumbs down either side of the neck so you're supported. So your head is supported, your neck is relaxed. Now lengthen the back of the neck, slightly tucking your chin in towards your chest. We'll come into our crunch. Exhale and inhale, release. So trying to avoid the lower back lifting and lowering for this one. You want to keep that neutral spine. So imagine you've got a marshmallow under your lower back, and when you crunch, you're looking towards your legs and pulling the lower belly nice and firm. And we don't want to be crunching with the neck, okay? You want the neck to stay in the same shape. It's just lifting and lowering with the shoulders. You have the option of staying with this, or we imprint again. So we are squashing that marshmallow. Bring your legs up. And then we crunch, tap, lift, and down. So you have the option of just doing the crunch without the toe tap. For 4. Really focusing on your form and your control. Good, and release. release, bringing the feet down. Keep that ball nice and squeezed. We'll bring your arms down by your side and then lifting up into a bridge. Now in your bridge, we don't want to arch into the spine, so do that little tuck at the top and you'll feel the hamstrings switch on and then come back down. Now if your ball is too small and that narrow stance of the legs is really uncomfortable, then do this without the ball. So really squeezing into the booty. Two more. And holding it up. Little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold up on 1. Squeeze into the ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Oh my goodness, grab your ball. Wow. All right, I'm going to bring the ball underneath your lower back. So just above the tailbone on that sacral area, and then bring the legs up. So you can use your arms to help stabilize. Okay, and the knees are in a tabletop position. I'm going to straighten one to the sky and one out. And then come back through center. Trying to keep the ball as still as possible. If you're super balanced, you can always bring your arms up into the air. And if you're doing this without a ball, make sure your lower back isn't lifting up from the floor. Next time your legs lengthen, keep them straight. We're going to open out to the side and then swap. Let's do that again. Open out to the side and swap. If your hips don't like this, you can make the movement a lot smaller, not going as wide. Core in. Make sure you're not arching into the lower back, even if you're on the ball. Let's do 2 more on both sides. Last one. Good, and legs up. Now my ball's gone down a little bit too low. All right, so cross the ankles. And we'll twist the hips from side to side. Twist, twist. So getting into those obliques. This one's nice and fun. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's swap. And again. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Ooh. Now bring the ball underneath your right foot. Square off the hips. Try and get your heels to be in line with your sit bones. We'll come back to those bridges. So lifting up, still doing that little tuck at the top, and back down. Make sure I'm getting in the right spot. Ooh, wobbly. 2 more. And then swapping over to the other side. Trying to keep your hips as square as possible. It's going to be tricky because you're unbalanced. You want to have weight into both feet though to really challenge your stability. For 3, 2, 1. And down, my goodness. All right, grab that ball. Hope you're coping okay. We're just going to bring the ball in between the shoulder blades now. And interlace the hands behind the head again. Drop that head back so we're opening up into the chest, which is a nice stretch. And then from here, your exhale, going to pull your ribs down towards your hips. And then inhale back out. Still keeping the neck nice and long, slightly tucking in the chin so we're not pulling on the head at all. You don't want the ball to be by your neck. You want it in between the shoulder blades. So if it starts to move, you can always adjust. You want it to feel quite supportive. Two more like this. Then extend your right leg out long and your left arm. So we're going to reach and open. Try to keep your hips level as much as you can. For 4, 3, if your leg doesn't like the straight version, you can do the bent. 2, and last 1. Let's swap sides. So if you don't have the ball, obviously just doing your normal crunches with one leg extended. Exhale up, inhale, reach. With a little rotation of the shoulders at the top. Two more. Beautiful work. Straighten the legs out. Drop the head back. Open up to the chest. Last round. We'll glue those thighs together. Interlace the hands behind. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. Three more. Hold, knee in and out. Alternate, in and out. Try not to let your hips drop from side to side when they lift. Lengthening the back of the neck, chin in, lower belly in. For 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. that ball out of the way. Oh, hug your knee in. Give it a good squeeze. And pull it across your body into a twist to reach behind. You can use your ball to support the knee or let the knee come down to the ground. Opening up the chest, palm facing up with that back arm, trying to ground the shoulders if you can. And then hug the knee in. And then over to the other side. And you come back through center, bring one foot up onto your thigh, hug in for a figure four glute stretch. If you feel any discomfort in the knee, just make sure that your ankle isn't bending. You want to keep it in line, flex the foot, and that will make, you want the stretch to be up in your glute area. Good, swapping sides. Deep breathing. And gently release. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Arms in a cactus position. Just windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Such a good stretch for the lower back, for the hips. Next time the legs come down to one side, you can bring the bottom foot up onto that top knee to deepen it if you like, and just hold for a moment. And swapping sides. And release. Roll onto your side. Pull one heel up towards your bum for a quad stretch. So slightly push your hips forward and pull your knee back. And then over to the other side. And then coming up, any comfortable seated position. I'm going to interlace the hands behind, open up the chest. And do a little side bend. Up and over. And coming back to center, bring your hands together in prayer, taking a deep breath in through the nose. Sighing out the mouth. Taking a moment to feel gratitude for your magnificent body and everything you just achieved. Bring your hands to your forehead. And gratitude for this time you've given yourself to nourish your body, your mind, your soul. And I thank you for sharing your energy and your time with me. Namaste.